So the new patch for Grayzone Warfare just hit the test servers and I played it for about an hour, and let me tell you, it is already a huge improvement. For those of you who don't know, next week a new patch is releasing for Grayzone Warfare, and this is going to contain over 200 fixes. And while we don't exactly know what 200 fixes are actually in the game, we do have a good indication of what they're focusing on thanks to the test notes. And the main focus of this test seems to be a couple issues that the community has been complaining about a lot because they're pretty big issues. The first being friendly kills in the base using hand grenades. This has actually been fixed, and I'm very glad. I've lost 2 kits like this myself. And then they also finally added the ability to change your voice key binding. You're no longer forced to use Z. And then the last big thing here is they have focused on the crashes. Now I've played for about an hour so far, and I haven't experienced a single crash. And overall, this game is just running a lot better. And while we don't exactly know what the 200 bug fixes are, there has been some talk in the testing channel, and I've done some testing myself, and I'd like to give you guys an idea of what to expect. Now, right off the bat, I don't know how much optimization is in this patch, but I do know that this game runs a lot smoother on the test server. All of the footage you're seeing in this video was actually taken from the test server when I cleared out the Air Force base, and the AI seemed a lot more responsive, the hit detection seemed a lot better, and then on top of that, I was getting about 20 extra frames per second. Another thing I noticed is how much better the texture streaming is in this patch. I'm getting less texture pop in, I'm getting less pop in overall, and everything seems to be much crisper and loading in much faster. And this has also improved my performance in Tiger Bay, which is one of the worst spots for optimization in this game. Now, I still get the hitch when I go into Tiger Bay, but once I'm in moving around, it seems to stabilize out, and I'm getting way more frames than before. Another thing I noticed right away in this patch is it's a lot easier to tell if you're hitting your targets. It appears that the developers have actually increased the mist when you hit a target, so it's a lot easier to see when your hits are hitting, and it takes away some of the guessing with the hit registry. Now, speaking about hit registration, this is a lot better overall. Now, I don't know if this is because there's not as many people on the test server, but it seems like my bullets are actually hitting every target I aim at, and it doesn't seem like some of my shots are just disappearing, and this is a massive improvement. Now, there are still some big issues with the game, the number one being helicopters. Now, it doesn't appear like they added more helicopters, but it seems like they are moving a little bit faster, and then on top of that, you actually get a 10-second warning now before the helicopter. And while these are some great changes, there are still major issues with the helicopter. They still need to add some type of queue system, and now that the helicopter gives you a warning before it takes off, I think it should actually tell you where it's going, and it would help alleviate some of the problem. Now, one change that hasn't been going that well with the community right now is there seems to be an AFK timer when you're outside of the base, which means if you have to go do something, you're waiting around for a helicopter, there is a chance that you will be disconnected. And from what I'm seeing, I don't know if this is 100%. It looks like if you're disconnected in the field, you are losing your kits. And this is something that has me worried because sometimes you're waiting on a helicopter for 15-20 minutes, and if that logout timer isn't long enough, this is going to cost a lot of players a lot of cash. But like I said, overall, this is a huge improvement from the current state of the build. Honestly, I think if they would have launched with this version, they wouldn't have lost so many players due to the bad performance that this game. However, with this patch only taking about a week in the oven to bake, and the amount of improvement I'm already seeing out of this patch, I really think that Grayzone Warfare is still off to a great start. And believe it or not, I think now might actually be the perfect time to get in the game. There's less crashes, it runs better, and it's just overall more coherent. But I gotta know, what do you think? Have you jumped on and tried the test servers yet? Have you seen an improvement? Let me know in the comments. Are you still playing the game? I want to know. And remember, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button. Until then, I'll see you next time.